This is part 2 of recasing of Pandora, and so things have changed a little bit here. What we have here is the new parts. Just go through what you need quickly before we start. This is the stylus holder, and you can use this from your old unit. You want to take the silver case back, and this slips in here like this, and then you can put the stylus in before you start. The stylus just slides in like that, and then you'll see that it's in and that bit's ready. Of course, the notorious shoulder buttons as well. We'll come to those if they need adjustment. If your previous unit had been adjusted for the shoulder buttons, you'll maybe need to replicate it on the new one. Front, back, your old LCD, hinge, 2 light pipes, microphone, that isn't essential, 4 tiny screws for the screen, isn't essential again, 2 slightly bigger screws and 4 large screws, your AB, XY buttons, your key mat. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the top of the unit, which is this bit. You've dismantled this already, so you know that. This just goes straight on there, like so. Don't forget to take any screen protector off your screen or anything like that, otherwise you'll trap it under the front. You know how this has come apart, so you'll need to gently set the Wi-Fi antenna just about right. There is actually a little nub that it hooks onto. You just get that on, tape down, cable comes around, there's a couple of notches for the cable, then that runs into a notch here, in there, and then out through there. Just keep the curve on that, and it's already got. Okay, generally the best way to do this next bit is to hold that flat like that, and then take the back piece, and you're going to clip this on, but what I want you to do before you do that is just to make sure that the silver cable part is really nicely in the gap where the hinge is, so you can see there that I've kind of pulled it tight, but it's still got some flex on it. The microphone, the Wi-Fi antenna goes through the middle of it. Okay, so you're going to, like this, holding this way, gently settle that on the top, and then you can click in the top, top of it. Just take it nice and easy. But while you're doing that, while you're clicking that in, just keep being aware of where that cable is. You don't want to trap the cable between the plastics. I know this can be quite tricky to do it facing down like this, but it's generally the best way to stop the speakers falling out or getting trapped in the case. So you just want to click it down there, and then this front bit, just take it nice and easy with this bit here, so you don't trap the cable. See, just keep taking it easy. Keep checking that cable's got plenty of flex on it. It's not getting stuck. Click again, and then the final little bit, clicking that together. Okay, so there we see the cable's still nice and loose, and that's an important element of it. And then you can turn it over and click in those notorious top pieces. That isn't ever coming back apart in one piece. But there we have the top bit put together. It's normal for there to be sometimes this bit to stay raised. It was a moulding fault. On some units it'll go flush, and I know some people have actually trimmed the edges of the plastic to make it go flush, but it doesn't really bother me too much. Right, so next you've got your the front part where the keys go. So what we're going to do here is take your hinge, either a new one or your old one, and put it in like this, with the grey bit pointing outwards. Okay, and then push it down. And you may have to give some force to keep pushing this in, but we're going to come back to this. Sometimes I'll use this sort of part of a screwdriver to push it down, or sometimes I'll give it a go. If you're just right, you can push it down a bit softer maybe with some paper towel, see if it'll go, or if I'll need to use the screwdriver. I always feel like I'm abusing it if I use the screwdriver to bash it. There we go, nice and easy with a bit of paper towel. We didn't need to be brutal with it at all. So that's in there, just past where it needs to be, and later on we can push that through. Okay, so the next step is you've got this and this, and you need to join them together now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Wi-Fi antenna cable, and if you look at this bit, you need this end with the groove, and just take the Wi-Fi first and just slide it through like so. Okay, that'll come through this side here, just making sure you can see exactly what I'm doing. That'll come up through. Can be a little bit tricky sometimes because the chances are the cable has been sitting at a funny angle for a long time, but pop through like that. Again, just take it nice and easy, don't force anything. If something's pulling, just relax, it'll go through. Okay, so now we reach like this. Now we've got to get the very fragile LCD cable through, but as long as you take it easy, it's easy. So we know it goes into the little groove there. So this bit through that little groove, nice and easy again. Get the Wi-Fi all the way through, and just I can show it on camera easily. Just gonna gently put that in like that. You see, it's going through. I'm just gonna keep pushing it gently, taking it nice and easy. Okay, so that's through. You can see it's gone through, and then we're just gonna gently just push that in there again, making sure the cable doesn't get trapped. So on the back, check. It's nice and loose and it's happy. And then just push the other side in. Hey, there we have. The cables are back through and they're happy. Right, now the next little step is that hinge, you may remember, which is here, sticking through. What we've got to do is we've got to now make the hinge go in to the hinge part here, which then holds the whole top piece together. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver and just quite gently just push the hinge just a little bit more. I might have to use a slight bit of force, but it's quite normal here because we can't damage it too much. But you're just going to push the hinge. That's it. You'll know when it's true. You can feel it. There we go. So now the hinge is here on this piece is now flush, so you can't see the hinge anymore. The hinge appears to have disappeared, but actually what it's done is it's gone through to make the unit nice and solid. Okay, so now we're at this stage. The rest of it's quite easy really. I'm sure that you probably know what to do here from here on in. So you've got your light pipes, which these look the same at first glance, but they're actually each of them is different. So put those in. The Wi-Fi cable you can now clip into these clips at the top, like this. Okay. And then the other light pipe. Nice and easy. In that side. So both light pipes are in, then you can now put your microphone in, but I don't like to put this in because it can lead to the microphone snapping off the board when you put the board back in, so I'm not going to put that back in for now. You can if you want to. A BXY. Remember you're putting these in upside down so it's backwards. A little trick that Ed taught me, it's a good one. Is Y. Y kind of looks like it's pointing downwards, so you remember the Y goes at the top and the X goes at the bottom. Then you can put key mat. You might want to, while your key mat's out, kind of just give it a bit of a shake and a clean and make sure it's in okay condition on the back and get any dust off it or things that might have accumulated on it. And then that just lies in like that. Okay. And now of course it's ready for the board, which is here, microphone. These are fragile on the microphone. Be really careful about this. So you want to lift the Wi-Fi cable slightly out of the way and just gently put it in and then get the Wi-Fi into the little groove like that, and then make sure your microphone has gone nicely down here. Don't try and force it down, just lift it up and keep playing with it until it goes in there. You can move the microphone a tiny bit, but just be careful. Okay, then plug the antenna to the board, which goes on here. Satisfying click, so you know it's definitely down. Right, and then it's time for that. The LCD cable to go back onto its clip. It's not too hard this, if you remember when you took it off. One more thing while we're here. The power button. Just put that on now. It just goes on very simply. It's best to put it on now, or you might forget and then put the whole unit together and go to turn it on and there's no power button, which is a bit frustrating. Okay, so we're just gonna, if you just sort of bend it now, you'll see that it bends over nicely to where it needs to be. So we're just gonna open the little holder and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna very gently use my hands to bend the cable down and just get it to the holder. Just doesn't have to be all the way in yet, just so it's kind of sitting in there like that. And then you can use a screwdriver or something similar, just to use the little side parts to gently push it right in. You'll know when it's in. You feel it hit the back, and then you can just gently use your nail and close that holder like that. There you go. Close. Okay, so it's nearly done. We just need the back. Just gonna place that on like this. Easy. Will the triggers work? Oh, that one's not too happy. Okay, that's okay. So it looks like all that it needs is a very simple modification that I'll show you now. Some little stickers here. All I'm going to do is it's the kind of padded foam. You can get this in the pound shop for big rolls of it. I'm just going to, where it connects, the bit that's raised, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that on there. Put that back on there. Okay, so it's just got a tiny little bit of foam on it. Okay, we're happy. What will happen there is that the foam sort of compresses down and makes up the tiny gap that's required. So it's great. Now, first of all, what I like to do here is to put the screws that go in these two behind the battery in, put these in first. And you can test that everything's okay with the unit before putting all the screws in. It's a bit annoying if something goes wrong and you have to take all the screws back out, because with it being plastic there's kind of a limited number of times that you can do it. So I'm going to screw those in and then we'll see if it's working. Right. unscrew those 2 screws in. Take it easy. Now, I have to raise my voice here. Do not screw in these screws any further than when they're flush with the case, or they'll go straight through it. They'll come out the other side and they'll ruin your unit, okay? Many a person has done that, including me on several occasions. And don't put the wrong screws in. These are the mid-sized screws. Don't put the long ones in here, or you will destroy your new solar unit. You'll be furious, and you'll have to do it all again, or live with a broken case. Okay, so I'm going to put this one. Actually, I'm going to take this one back out and I'm going to put it in again because it just doesn't feel quite right. Could be that the screw's gone slightly off course. So, battery, and this is a bootable SD card. Your unit will probably just boot up, but I just want to use the bootable SD card on this one. So I'm not sure what the situation with the PCB I used was. Okay, so battery, I just hold it in if I were you like that, and haha, it is alive and ready to boot. Okay, move the screen a little bit, make sure that the image stays good, and then you can drop the battery, take out any SD card, and you are ready to put the other screws in. The 3 here. You can buy these screws usually from any hardware shop. Just make sure they're not too long, you don't want to go straight through the unit. And as you're screwing them in, one final little tip is just to keep checking the shoulder buttons still work, because sometimes it's possible to screw them in a little bit too tight and then the case is so tight that the shoulder buttons can't go down. As I say, don't go over the top with screwing it, make sure the shoulder buttons still work. Generally look at the back of the unit, tighten the screw just until it nips the plastic shut and don't go any further than that. Certainly don't round the screw or anything. Okay, that's still working. Here we go, we've got a unit. You can put the LCD screws in if you want to now. And put the battery door on. And there you go. The silver unit, all good to go, like new.